right, fly fishing insiders, I've got a tip for you this week. It's all about getting the reset on your bug, not only your floating top bug, so your dry fly, but also works for resetting your dropper to the appropriate depth. So you can use it to set appropriate depth and deeper. So usually on a dropper, we run on average 1.5 times the depth or a little deeper than where we want to be, because it's going to take away due to the 45-degree angle that you're ultimately going to achieve. So this will drop your dropper as well deeper into the column. The other thing it'll do is it'll allow you to reset your top bug, your dry fly bug, so that essentially if you run out of line and your line becomes tight, you get micro drag, etc., you can reset it so you eliminate the micro drag. Also, if you're fishing downstream or from a boat, this is the most typical scenarios where you'll use something like this. So in most instances, you're going to have something like this. You're going to have a dry fly in a dropper scenario. Your dropper is going to hang down like this. In a normal scenario, it's going to hang at about this angle, 45 degrees, because your top water is going faster than your bottom water. So it's going to start to pull it like this. And you're going to get somewhat of an unnatural depth. So a lot of times what you do is you throw them in and you flop your bug. Well, that works too. But what works fantastic is when you have something really floaty like this on top, a lot of times you'll fish downstream from your boat, or you'll fish downstream as a wading person as well. What happens is you're going to fish and your bug is going to go more in this direction. So your fly is going to want to change, right? So now your fly is going to be oriented. You're actually going downstream like this. Your line's going to kind of come off this way, and your bug is going to float like this. So what you do is you actually lift your rod tip. Lifting your rod tip is going to cause this bug to drag back, and your nymph is going to go faster. So your nymph's going to drop to a deeper depth. Your bug is going to drag back. Line is going to come off of your bug, and your bug is going to ride without micro drag. So same thing, if I'm fishing downstream, again, my fly starts to float, my bug on the bottom starts to go slower, it's going to turn my bug's going to start floating downstream, my dropper is going to be at 45 degrees, the line's going to be coming off the head of the fly, probably going around it and back to your location, which is upstream. So if I pull this fly back, you'll see my lower bug's actually going to stay and go a little deeper, and it's just like a men cast where you're flipping your bug up and allowing that dropper to drop. But what you're doing is you're moving downstream in a boat, or you're standing upstream and waiting. You pull that back, and you can pull it back quite a ways, let it go. You've now instituted additional length and slack into your fly line. It starts to drift naturally again, and your bug on the bottom starts to ride at a deeper depth and slowly rises up. So you're going to see two things. One, when you do your drag back, you're usually going to pull it back far enough that you're going to start to lift your dropper as well. And when your dropper rises, that's like an emerging bug. A lot of times you'll get a take right there. Second, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll kind of jerk the bug on top if it's like a hopper or something, so it has a little action to it, and just wait a second to see if I get a strike. The third is when I drag back and I fully reset, I'm going to reset so that my lower bug is lower, my drift is more natural, I start to stay lower, and again, it starts to rise like an emerging, and a lot of times you'll get a strike there. So a simple way to reset your bug without having to recast from a boat or waiting on a stream is to do that simple rod tip lift, which entices line to be pulled back towards you, and then lower your rod tip, and that puts the slack back in the line and your drift, able to accomplish a drag-free drift and lower your drop. So that's your tip for the week. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.